So today I'm going to show you a sample for brioche knit. So I have two color yarns. Okay, so these are the two I'm going to use. And for this sample you can use, mine is a DK weight, but you can use any yarn, any weight, and then any needle. This is just for practicing. Okay, so when you cast on stitches for brioche knitting, cast on even number of stitches. Okay, so in this I'm going to cast on 30 stitches. Okay, so this is long tail cast on 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. Okay, so I have 30. I have 30 right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, so I have 15 stitches or 30 stitches here. So I will join this in the round. Okay, so divide this into 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 and 15. Okay, so 15, 15, and I'm going to join this too. Make sure that your work is not twisted when you're joining in the round like this. And when I usually join in the round for smooth edging, what I do is I pull out the first stitch like this and then just exchange it between these two. Okay, that's it. And then so we are going to do the setup round for brioche knitting. So for the setup round, what we do is we use the same yarn. Let's name this yellow. Okay, so for easy, so with the yellow yarn we do knit 1 and then bring the yarn in the front and slip the stitch as if to purl. Okay, like this. And then the next one is knit. So your yarn is in the front and you knit it like this to create a yarn over or a double stitch. Okay, and then same, we have to repeat it again. Bring the yarn in the front, slip the stitch, and then knit the next stitch. Again we are creating a double stitch. Bring the yarn in the front, slip the stitch. Okay, and then knit the next stitch. Bring the yarn in the front, slip the stitch, and then knit the next stitch. Bring the yarn in the front, slip the next stitch, knit the next stitch. Okay, repeat it again. With yarn in the front, slip 1, knit the next stitch. Yarn in the front, slip 1, and then knit the next. Okay, yarn in the front, slip 1, and then knit 1. Yarn in the front, slip 1, knit 1. Yarn in the front, slip 1, knit 1. So repeat this till then. And the last stitch is a slip 1. So we bring in the yarn in the front and then slip the stitch. okay, and this yarn we have to take it at the back like this on top of the needle, okay, but this we will again address it again. And now the second yarn, we have to add the second yarn, okay. So the second yarn, let's name it as white. It's more like pink and white, let's name it as white, okay. So the second yarn, we have to add this second yarn. So in this, what I will do is I will just put this in between the work like this, okay, and pull it out, and then I will quickly just tie it like this, just loosely, okay, so that it will be easy to handle. And then it is like in the front, okay, so we have to bring it in the front like this. But what you have to do is, now this yarn we left it in the front and we have to take it at the back, so we take it at the back like this, and then this yarn, second yarn, which we are going to use it now, white yarn, we bring it from underneath the yellow, okay, white underneath the yellow, and then bring it in the front like this. And then the first stitch we will slip the first stitch as if to purl, and then this yarn was already in the front because we brought it in the front, and then we wrap the stitch, or say we do a yarn over, and then the next is a brioche purl, which means we are knitting 2 stitches together. The double stitch we created in the first setup, we are going to purl this together like this, okay. So again, slip the stitch, the yarn is already in the front, yarn over, and then purl the stitch. Repeat, slip the stitch, yarn over, purl the stitch, slip, yarn over, purl the stitch, slip, yarn over, purl the stitch, or brioche purl, slip, yarn over, brioche purl, slip, yarn over, brioche purl, 1, slip, and then we do yarn over, and we'll complete this round. Continue. The last one we have to purl both the stitches together, okay. So then we do both the stitches together free, and this white yarn we take it at the back like this, okay. And this time we have to make sure that the yellow yarn we picked up underneath, okay, like this, put it on top of the yellow, and then this will pick up, okay. So there has to be a cross like this. Now we will do a brioche knit round. So knit, brioche knit. So we knit 2 stitches together, bring the yarn in the front, slip the stitch, then brioche knit. This is knitting those double stitches together. Bring the yarn in the front, slip the stitch, and then brioche knit. Bring the yarn in the front, slip the stitch, and then brioche knit. Bring the yarn in the front, slip, then brioche knit. Bring the yarn in the front, slip, and then brioche knit. Okay, so continue doing the same. For knitting brioche in the round, the most important is how you change from the first yarn to the second yarn when you are doing 2-color brioche. Okay, so that is the most important thing. Otherwise, this is pretty simple stitch, and I'm sure you will get it easily. Okay. And then the last stitch is a slip stitch. Bring the yarn in the front and slip, and then this yarn we are going to take it the back like this, and then white yarn we will bring from underneath the stitch, yellow. Okay, and then we will bring in the front. That is the only thing you have to remember. Always the second yarn or the working yarn should be pulled out underneath the yarn which you just completed. So, and this is again a brioche purl round. So for this, slip the stitch, then yarn over, brioche purl, slip the stitch, yarn over, brioche purl. So slip the stitch, yarn over, brioche purl, slip the stitch, yarn over, brioche purl, slip the stitch, yarn over, brioche purl, slip the stitch, yarn over and brioche purl, slip the stitch, yarn over and brioche purl, and slip the stitch and then yarn over and then brioche purl, slip the stitch, yarn over, brioche purl, slip the stitch, and we are continuing the same. And second yarn, white, we just take it to the back like this, and making sure that the yellow yarn or the first yarn we are putting this on top of it, and then the working yarn we are pulling out from underneath. And the next one is a brioche knit round. Okay, so as you continue doing it, you will start seeing how your work is looking. So that was a brioche knit because we had a double stitch. So whenever we had a double stitch, we always have to do a brioche knit or a knitting that together, and bring the yarn in the front, slip the stitch, and then knit it together. And then the next round is a brioche purl round. Okay, so this we take it back and then pull this out from underneath like this, and then slip the first stitch with the yarn in the front, and then yarn over brioche purl, okay. And now take this at the back like this, and on top of the first one or the first yarn, and then pull it underneath. So I'm going to knit for a few more rounds just to show you how this piece looks like, and then I will finish this video so that you can just refer it for basic brioche knitting. So after knitting few more rounds, I have this brioche like this. I just used some leftovers, so I didn't choose the yarn correctly, so that's why you cannot see the difference, strikingly different or contrast in this. So it is always good to choose a contrast color for the yarn. So here it is merging almost, but still I like it. Okay, and at the back it looked like this. Okay, in the front you can see it is like this, or in the back it's just like this. Okay, I hope you will enjoy doing this basic swatch or a pattern in brioche so that we can knit more brioche patterns together.